Hello, today's reading is about whether or not your concerns about the connection are valid or if it's all kind of in your head. And it's Nightmare Before Christmas themed. It is not Halloween or Christmas, but I am emo, so we do not follow the calendar. um, Basically, each box has a bunch of charms and oracle cards, and then these are your piles. So I'll just give you guys a minute to think about it, and then I'll see you at your pile. Hello to the group that selected pile number 1. Here's your reading. Well, all your cards came out in reverse, so that's kind of not good. I feel like you kind of already know the answer. You're just kind of in denial. Well, with the Hierophant in reverse, I think of someone who's maybe abusing their power with you. It can also be like you're kind of like, maybe you're a little rebellious, maybe you're a little different, and this dude or this person is just like they kind of want you to fit into the status quo. Maybe they have like a conservative family or something, and you're just kind of like, nope, that's not my thing, and they're trying to like push you to be someone that you're not, which is the vibe I'm getting. It could be actual religious factors that maybe you're not interested in, that they're kind of trying to push on you. But typically it's not literally religious factors. It's just something, you know, like maybe your personal beliefs are very different from one another, and to a point where it's irreconcilable, and you're just denying it. You're just in denial. I also see the Magician in reverse, who I think of like a shady car salesman. When I think of the Magician in reverse, it's just someone who's like kind of manipulative, and they're really just there to sell you something for their own personal benefit versus what actually is going to work for you. And yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, like a manipulative person who kind of wants you to be someone you're not. And then we see the Ace of Potions, or the Ace of Cups in reverse. A lot of that is self-love, so maybe you're kind of you're not being very loving towards yourself. And I feel like this relationship is a byproduct of that. Like either you're hurting yourself through this relationship, or because you're choosing not to deal with all the, you know, shadow self stuff, you're kind of just like in this relationship just to be there. Maybe, you know, you have some kind of like fear of abandonment, and this person kind of helps quell that, or like you have some fear of being alone, and this person just kind of is like filling a space. It's not someone that you actually want to be with. I feel like you're very aware of who this person is, but instead of like admitting it to yourself, you're just kind of like, well, I'd rather be with a shitty person than be alone. But you know, that's not good. You kind of have to resolve that, and kind of really do some self-reflection about what it is you want, and why this, you know, why it is you keep this person around. I also see, well, I mean, the Ace of Cups is like, you know, love in a relationship, and the fact that it's in reverse is kind of like the opposite of that. Yeah, I don't feel like you guys really love each other or really care about each other. Even if you are saying I love you, I feel like either like you're lying, or like maybe you were in love and then you realize like, oh, this isn't working out, and now you're just kind of saying I love you as like a fucking default versus like actually being in love with this individual. The Ace of Cups also in reverse also makes me think of like ignoring your intuition. So again, I feel like you already know this. You're just kind of like throwing it in the background, hoping it'll go away, but it's not going to go away. We also see the Nine of Wands in reverse, which is defensiveness. I feel like you guys might accidentally trigger each other. Maybe like you'll say something and you're not even trying to be mean, you'll just say something and the other person like gets really angry, and vice versa. There's like a lot of defensiveness here, and yeah, I just feel like you guys are triggering each other. It might not, I mean, hopefully not, right? Hopefully it's not on purpose. Hopefully you're not deliberately like bringing out someone's trauma to spite them. That's really abusive. But yeah, I just feel like maybe you have a certain way of doing things, and maybe that reminds this person of, you know, their childhood trauma, or vice versa. And again, it goes back to like the fact that you guys are just so different that it can't be reconciled. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which it's typically a financial thing. When I see it, I feel like a lot of the times it comes up as a family thing. So maybe again like the conservative family thing, and maybe you're not, or vice versa. Maybe your viewpoints are just very different and your families aren't accepting of each other. But it can also be a financial thing, like maybe this person's taking financial advantage of you. Let me get that. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the I feel like I'm leaving fingerprints and it's bothering me. I don't understand. Okay, so we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like that's just an unhappy family situation. So I really hope that, you know, you didn't start a family with this individual, because I can't see that ending well. It'll be like a really ugly divorce if that does happen to be the case. But if not, well then get out while you can. Because I don't see that ending well, like at all. And then we have the Page of Needles, which is all talk, no action. So I kind of think of the Page of Swords in reverse. Again, all talk, no action. So maybe, you know, you've brought up to this person like, hey, this triggers me when you do this or when you say that. Or, hey, you said you were going to get a job and now you're just kind of taking advantage of me. And the person's like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But they're just like, all talk, no action. They're not actually changing what they say they're going to do. Yeah, I just can't. I also, the Page of Swords in reverse makes me think of haste, of speediness. Like maybe you kind of rushed into this relationship for some reason, and it's not actually what you need. It's just kind of like there. So we have a couple more cards. Deception. Again, so with the Magician in reverse, this person's like lying to you, and if they say they're gonna change, like they're fucking lying. They're just kind of trying to keep the relationship afloat, or they might even be manipulating you for your money. I don't see this changing. I don't see this person actually caring about you. Like literally all the cards are reversed. Yeah, they're just not good news. Companion. Okay, so see, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like you don't actually care about this person, or like you know this person doesn't care about you, but you just don't want to be alone. You're just like, someone to have as my companion. It's not actually like, you know, someone you would prefer or like your dream person. Then we got Riverboat, Transitional, Pleasurable, Accost. So again, this idea of like, you're just there for the pleasure, like, maybe this person, you know, knows how to do a couple of things and it's just kind of there, versus, you know, they could also take you out a lot, but, you know, if you're not being emotionally fulfilled in the relationship, is it really pleasurable in the end? Accost, that's funny because these are like over the garden wall. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's a little oracle deck. But there's a literal cost. Like, they have to get on the boat, and they're like, you guys need 2 pennies, and they don't have it. And they kind of, they sneak their way into the boat. So, I feel like this person just doesn't have money, and they're kind of sneaking their way into this relationship, and they're like, well, I'll just kind of, like, feed off this other person. I don't actually have to, like, get a job to get on this boat. Yeah. We have Pottsfield, um, idyllic, pastoral, and final destination. So this makes me feel like um, it's again like you're lying to yourself. Like, yes, this person is deceiving you, but I also feel like you're just kind of like you're probably an intuitive person with the Ace of Cups here, but it's in reverse, so you're just kind of like ignoring it, and they're telling you not to be so idyllic about this shit. I feel like it's weird. Like, I don't want to tell you to remove your rose-colored glasses because I feel like you already know this person's full of shit, but you're just kind of like ignoring it. You're like, it's fine. Like, I'd rather be here than alone, or whatever the situation might be. And then we have burden, illuminating, and constant. Yeah, so again, um, it's more of a burden than like a pleasure at this point. When I think of the lantern, I also think of the hermit, and the hermit is like obviously someone who spends time alone, and I think you just need to become more comfortable with that because this isn't gonna go away, not with the constant there. And then we have your tough love messages. We have don't believe every shitty thought you have. Thoughts can be sneaky lying bastards. So with the Ace of Potions, it can, like I was saying earlier, self-love. So I feel like maybe you're missing, you're missing some self-love. Maybe you need to go do some shadow work. You need to go, if it's really bad, go to therapy if possible. Um, Maybe journal. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm sorry. I'm just a tarot reader. But yeah, don't believe every shitty thought you have. So maybe you're like, oh, if I leave this person, like this will happen to me, or like no one's gonna love me, like whatever it is. Like they're telling you, like it's not, what it never was. That's serious. They're telling you, calm down. Don't believe every fucking negative thought you have. And then it says you have a feeling you just can't shake. That little voice inside you, listen to that shit. So again, I feel like you're intuitive and you're just kind of ignoring it. You're like, I don't know why I feel weird around this person, but I'm just gonna like la da 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 ignore it, and it's like you can't do that. But again, you already kind of know. You're just deliberately like not paying attention to it. It says you are talented and fucking amazing. The world needs your power. Use your voice. Don't just use it for dumb shit. So I feel like you're wasting a lot of your energy and maybe even your literal like tangible resources on this individual, and they're telling you to redirect that energy to something else because you are talented. That's coming from your guides, so that's really sweet. They're like, get away from this person. Stop listening to your negative thoughts. Listen to that little voice inside your head that tells you to leave this person. And then it says, you are talented. Don't listen to that negative voice that's, you know, being mean to you. I'm gonna pull 3 more cards, see what comes up. Hopefully. 1. So we have the 3 of Swords, I believe. Let me double check. Yes. Okay. The 3 of Swords. So again, heartbreak. I don't know what's going on here, but this person does not care about you emotionally. Maybe you went through like a negative relationship and this person's just kind of like a rebound or something, but I don't see it going well. We have the 5 of Swords, so that's someone who like says some, again, next to the trigger card. So I feel like this person maybe just says things during an argument, like just to get under your skin, or like just to be like, yeah, I got the final word, or like, yeah, I won this argument. But it's like they're saying really fucked up shit, and it's like someone who loved you wouldn't say or do those things, but you're just kind of ignoring it. Especially with the 3 of Swords next to it, like this person might even, like they're probably like breaking your fucking heart, and you're kind of just sticking around because you're like, I don't know why you're sticking around, honestly. There's no positive card. There's like the pleasure card. Is that the one thing? Like, I don't know. You. One more card, please. Okay, there we go. The 3 of Pentacles. So that's interesting. That card indicates teamwork. So maybe you guys like do make a good team when it comes to certain things, but I can't imagine it being good enough to deal with all the other negative repercussions of this relationship. I also, when I think of the Three of Pentacles, I think of our spirit team. So maybe ask for your spiritual team for help, or even, um, manifest somebody else. Fuck this person. Straight up. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here are your charms. You have the freaking TY heart thingy. I can never open this, but yeah, I feel like your heart's kind of guarded. Because it's like this plastic, I don't even know what you would call it. It's kind of like a locket that protects the actual paper heart on it. So yeah, it just makes me think like you're kind of guarded right now, and you're like, okay, this is a really specific message, but sometimes when we're like used to shitty things due to our past or even our childhoods, you just get comfortable in the chaos, and so sometimes you're like, I'm just gonna be with this shitty person because that's all I've ever known. That's all where I'm comfortable. But it's not what's best for you, obviously. Yeah. So just kind of, I don't know. That's fucked up, but I mean, I'm sorry if you had a shitty childhood. Um, yeah, it's kind of just telling you like you shouldn't go into the chaos just because that's where you're comfortable or because you're scared of getting hurt. Because sometimes it's kind of like, well, if you see the red flags, then you can't be surprised by them, versus like actually falling in love with someone you care about and then being like, oh shit, they betrayed you in the end. Like that can be pretty scary. So instead you just go towards the shitty people that you know are shitty, because you're like, well, at least when they hurt me it won't be a surprise. But that's not yeah, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting my message across. I don't need to keep going on, but yeah, that is not okay. Please, please go to therapy if you have to. Then we have this cake. It makes me think of like wanting your cake and eating it too. So I feel like this person is just kind of like taking advantage of you and like saying they're gonna do things and they don't, and then they kind of like, I feel like they take so much more than they give to you, and they want to like have their cake and eat it too, basically. I don't have any like specific situations about that, but I'm sure that makes sense to you. We have this little freaking, it's from Cinderella. It's like a stuffed animal version because it has button eyes, but it makes me think of, holding a stuffed animal, comfort. Like maybe you're just comfortable here again with the chaos, or maybe you're just with this person for comfort, whether that be physical. I don't see them giving you emotional comfort, honestly. They seem like kind of a shitty person. But yeah, you're just kind of here because that's where you're comfortable, or because you're seeking some sort of comfort, but I mean, in the end, it's not worth it for you. And then you got a fortune cookie that says, love is a friendship set to music. Whatever that means to you. Then you have lucky numbers 22, 44, look at those, 41, 53, the number 1, and then 16. So if that means anything to you. We have sadness. Oh, no. I mean, but we've been new. Look at these fucking cards, dude. Yeah. So, I mean, what can I say? What can I add to that? The emotion of sadness. You're just freaking sad and you want comfort, and this person's just there. This is also, like, for me, it makes me think of sadness. It's kind of more of an empty feeling. I'm sorry I'm laughing so hard. I'm uncomfy. Maybe you crack a lot of jokes when you're uncomfortable. Maybe you laugh a lot when you're uncomfortable. But I have another Minnie Mouse, Tsum Tsum, in here somewhere. And it's colored, and then we have the black and white one. So the black and white one kind of makes me think of like, this is so sad. But like when color just fades from your life and you're like, everything's boring and everything sucks, and even the things that you used to find happiness in are kind of like not bringing you joy anymore. So that's, yeah. I'm sorry. Ah! Okay, then we have the Weasleys, like Weasley's Wizard Weasley's Shop. Maybe you're kind of an entrepreneur. Maybe you have some more creative endeavors that your spirit team wants you to follow that don't involve this person. I also think of someone who's making like pretty good money, honestly, and this person's just kind of taking advantage of it while you're putting in all the fucking hard work. Then we have, I began falling down, 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 down. It's like Alice in Wonderland. So yeah, this relationship's just kind of like a spiral. Maybe your life has been kind of like a spiral downwards, and this person is just a byproduct of that. But I just don't see this going anywhere. And you've been new. You've been new. You don't need this reading. What are you doing? Stop ignoring your intuition. Be happy. So yeah, as if it were that easy, right? But I don't know, when I see the be happy one, it's just kind of like go out and seek things that make you happy versus like just kind of staying here because it's where you're comfortable, because clearly you're kind of miserable. Bitchin'. If you guys watch Stranger Things. So yeah, again, you're fucking talented. Your spirit team thinks you're fucking bitchin'. They believe in your ideas and they don't want you to be in this relationship anymore. We have a cat, so that's someone. Cats represent independence. If you don't know, cats kind of domesticated themselves. We didn't domesticate them. And then there's also like, like a dog kind of wants your affection all the time, but a cat can kind of just like be on their own. That's a generalization, obviously, but yeah, I feel like they're asking you to like be on your own. Like, you don't need to be in this relationship. Even if you are afraid of being alone for whatever reason, like, it would be better than to be with this person. Then we have a death, metaphoric, obviously. Yeah, they're just kind of asking you to end the relationship. I don't know how else to put it. We have the Eiffel Tower, so maybe you want to travel, like, you have a lot of dreams. Excuse me, also with this, I don't know what you call it, but it's like the steering wheel of a freaking ship. Excuse me. I feel like you guys have dreams to travel, maybe even overseas or something, and you have a lot of freaking dreams, and this person maybe just wants to stay at home, or you can't fulfill your dreams because this person's taking your money. Like, this is just not a good situation. They're asking you, like, hey, get out of here. Like, this is unnecessary. This is like a spatula, or I guess they're called flippers. Apparently they're not actually spatulas. Spatulas are the baking things. It's not relevant, but that's very upsetting to me when I found out. But this is a flipper, I guess. And it has the word love on it. So I think, yeah, you just need some love. This is so sad. But again, like, flipping the script on the situation, like, right now you're indulging in things that are toxic for you because you don't love yourself, and it's just kind of like, I'll flip it around. You don't need to live this life. Oh, and then you have a leaf, like turning a new leaf. Cute. I also think of leaves like when they get stuck in the gutters, or like when they start falling off the trees and it's time to clean them up. Like, it's time to get all this shit out of your system, out of your life. Like, it's time to clear it up. And then we have a book. When I think of books, I think of knowledge, but I feel like you already had this fucking knowledge. You didn't really need me to read this to you. Freedom. So I feel like you're feeling trapped in this relationship. We have beauty, again, telling you to love yourself. Sport. I feel like, you guys, again, like, you have so many interests and so many talents. You might even be, it might even be literal, like an actual sport that you're into, but, yeah, I just feel like this person doesn't, oh, okay, I heard the word support and instead of sport, and I don't feel like this person supports you. But your spiritual team does. Yay. We have her. Don't know what that could mean. Like. Will. And then we have laugh. Yeah, so those are pretty positive, honestly. Then we have this one, it's just of, so I don't know, maybe if we're trying to make a sentence. I'm pretty bad at that, so, you do what you gotta do, but either way, I just feel like this person, they're just no good. I don't know how else to put it. Sorry, homie. I hope, but you've been new, come on now. Alright, so I hope that was helpful, pile number 1. Subscribe if you're interested. Thank you. Hello to the viewers that selected pile number 2 with the yellow present. This is your reading. Alrighty. So we have 5, 6, 7 of cups in reverse. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse. We have the Emperor upright. Choop choop. And then the 7 of Pentacles upright. And then the 5 of Cups upright. Alrighty, so I feel like this individual isn't necessarily a bad person. I just feel like they're not very focused on you. We have the 7 of Cups in reverse, so that's kind of like being overwhelmed or being distracted with too many options. So maybe they're, you might not even be in a relationship with them yet. Maybe they're kind of, having a hoe phase, which, I mean, I guess to each their own. But yeah, I feel like they're distracted, even if it's not like them going around with multiple people. It can just be like them, like, oh, wanting to do this and wanting to do that and wanting to travel over there and wanting to finish this project over here, and it's like their mind is like everywhere but in this fucking relationship. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Can be someone who's stubborn. I feel like this person might be kind of stuck in their ways. They're not going to change anytime soon. And again, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. So that one makes me think, like, again, this person isn't a bad person. They're just kind of distracted. And because the 10 of Wands in reverse indicates someone who feels like they have to do it all on their own. Like they can't ask for help. They have problems asking for help. So maybe this person is just kind of like doing all these things, and instead of delegating or asking somebody to split the work with them, they're just kind of taking it all on their own, and they don't really have like time for a relationship. We have the Emperor. I don't really see it as this person. I see it kind of as you. You're like very stable. Especially with the fact that Emperor is almost always, obviously there's different depictions, but he's like seated in this huge chair, and it's like someone who's not going anywhere. They're grounded, which sucks because like for you, if you're putting all this love and affection into this person, you're like, I'm not gonna go anywhere, but this person's like mind is everywhere but on this relationship. That kind of sucks for you. But it's not that they like want to hurt you or like that they're toxic. It's just kind of like they don't have time, or they don't have the headspace for a relationship right now. And then we have the 7 of Presents, which makes me feel like you're being asked to put your, like, sow your seeds somewhere else. Sorry, that sounded inappropriate. It's not an innuendo. It's literally asking you, like, to put your effort into something else that is gonna pay off for you in the end. It's asking you to really think about, like, is this the best, most efficient use of your time, of your emotions, of your resources, of your love? Is this really where you want to be right now? And I feel like even if you choose to put that off and you're like, well, maybe this person will change, which again, they're stuck in their ways. I don't see them changing. I feel like even if you do choose to wait longer, like it'll only end in heartbreak. We have the 5 of Potions. So that's kind of like fretting over or grieving something from the past. So, I mean, but it's like a card in the future. So I feel like you're going to grieve the time you lost waiting on this person if you just keep waiting around, because honestly, they're not going to change. And it's not to hurt you, and it's not to be mean. It's just like they're not in the headspace where they feel like they can take on a relationship right now. We got worth waiting for, but I really don't think they are. I feel like you think that they're worth waiting for, and that's why you're sticking around so much. But again, I maybe depending on the person, because this is a general reading, maybe it says worth waiting for, but then it says divine timing. So I feel like even if they are worth waiting for, like now is not the time. So maybe you can like go out, have fun, and then come back to this relationship later in the future. But I really don't see them changing for the time being. Then we have religious factors. I don't take that so literal either. I just feel um, like they're kind of tied to their family. It doesn't have to be like religion. I just feel like they're maybe their family's going through a lot right now and they're trying to stay focused on that, or maybe you guys have viewpoints that are so different that you can't really like connect or see eye to eye. Or again, even though you're like clearly a stable individual, this person's like, I don't see that for whatever reason. I just feel like it's a a difference that you can't really resolve at the moment. Then you have temperance, which means to abstain from alcohol, but I don't think that's, again, also not literal. I feel like you need to abstain from this person. You kind of need to, like, draw it back, give yourself some space, and then we have guidance. So I feel like maybe if you pull tarot cards for yourself, or if you have a friend who's always giving good advice, I feel like maybe you should reach out and ask for guidance, because this 10 of Wands in reverse energy might not even be just for the person you're looking at. It could be for you. Like maybe you tend to not ask people for help when you need it, and so it's just kind of saying like, hey, back away from this situation. It's getting a little addictive, it's getting a little toxic for you. Just freaking meditate, ask for guidance either from your guides or from a literal person. Then we have Jason Funderburker. It's a little froggy, and it says mystical, companionable, and then polynomous. Let me look up that word because I don't know what the fuck that means. Okay, just googled it. It says to be known by many names. So again, I feel like this person is wearing a lot of hats. They're kind of just like extending all their energy to other people right now, and they don't have time for you. But musical's interesting. I wonder if you guys have like a musical talent or something that you can be focusing on instead of like this individual, or maybe you've been receiving messages from your guides and like songs or lyrics, and then that kind of catch your eye, or keep an eye out for that if you haven't. Excuse me. We have Beatrice, and it says cursed, caring, snarky. So I feel like that's kind of your energy right now. I wouldn't say you're cursed. Don't worry about that. I feel like curses are pretty rare, honestly. Like someone has to really have it out for you to freaking full out curse you. But we have. I feel like it's more of a metaphor, right? Like you feel like you've kind of had shitty luck, and it's not really changing anytime soon, unfortunately, for this situation in particular. And we have caring. I feel like you genuinely love this person, and that's why it's so hard for you to like let go or to move on, but it's not gonna end well for you. I find it funny, it's so snarky and like how bitter she looks. I feel like the fact that this person is not reciprocating your feelings puts you in a bad mood often, and then people who had nothing to do with this end up like on the receiving end of your negative energy or your negative emotions, and it's just, again, it's becoming I don't want to use the word toxic because I feel like toxic in my mind is associated with like abusive situations. I don't think this is abusive. I just feel like it's putting you in a bad mood, and it's becoming unhealthy at this point. Like it's time to move on. Oh my god, literally stop obsessing. Okay, well, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I don't think I need to explain that. It says you are not the center of the fucking universe. So I mean, that's pretty harsh, but again, I feel like maybe like this person just has a lot on their plate right now, and they don't have time for you, and you know, not everyone's gonna be for you, and that's okay. You look like a shit show. Oh my god, they're so mean. You're a hot mess. Fact, clean yourself up. So again, I feel like you're becoming like, it's starting to get to you emotionally, and it's not looking good, and maybe it's starting to affect like your work or your school, you know, whatever your situation is, and And it's just not looking good. Like, people are starting to notice, like, hey, this is kind of having a negative effect on you. And they're just kind of asking you to, like, step away, stop obsessing. And then it says, you do you. Stop trying to change people. That shit never works. Yeah, so you're just waiting around for this person to, like, have a switch up, and it's not gonna happen. So they're just kind of telling you to, like, focus on yourself right now. Especially if you've started, you know, getting into negative emotions that can really build up. I mean, not everyone, like, believes in auras and stuff, but I feel like, you know, spiritually we do have our, like, our negative build-ups, and maybe it's time to cleanse, maybe it's time to focus on yourself, to have self-love, and to just get away from this person. Because it's not that they're a bad person, it's just that they're not, it's not gonna work out. Sorry. Alright, so we have Eeyore here. Eeyore, I mean, I don't know if people aren't familiar with Winnie the Pooh, but I'm just gonna assume they're not. He's pretty depressed, he's very sad. All his friends, especially in contrast with Tigger, who's always, like, jumping around and being happy, when they're next to each other, it's like, this very stark juxtaposition, and, yeah, I feel like you're just Eeyore. You're very sad right now. This isn't making you happy anymore. It's just kind of like an obsession at this point. We have Piglet, which is anxiety. He's always shaking, always nervous. I feel like it's just starting to affect your mood. But Piglet is also very loyal, so that's sad. Like, you have so much loyalty and so much sweetness, and I feel like it's being wasted on this individual. Reach, so that makes me think, like, if you think this person's gonna change, that's a reach, sweetheart. They're not gonna go anywhere. They're not gonna, their change of, you know, their attitude's not gonna change, is what I mean. We have seeds here. It's a bag of seeds, so that makes me think of, like, sowing your seeds somewhere. Did I say that already? Yeah, I did. Oh my gosh. Because I was about to make the inappropriate joke again. I was like, not nasty way. No, literally, like, they're asking you to plant, like, you can be putting your efforts somewhere else where it's not being fucking wasted. You got so many fortune cookies. Oh my god. I feel like you have so much to say to this person, and they're just like, I don't know, you're keeping it inside, and this person either, like, in one ear and out the other. Like, I just don't see them changing. You have an anchor. It got stuck in between here. Oh my gosh. I wonder if this is a metaphor that I can't work out right now. Yeah, but again, like, I feel like you're a lot of people's anchors. You're the Emperor card right here, or that's how you're being represented. And you're very stable, and I just feel like this energy is something that a lot of people look for in other people, and it's just being wasted on this individual who's never going to give you the time of day. Oh my god. Okay, I guess it's in there. I'm not gonna extend the time. I'll deal with that later. It's my unbirthday, so it's not your birthday, but you're still celebrating. So I feel like they're kind of asking you to go and celebrate. And you don't need a fucking reason. You can just, like, go out and have fun with your friends. Cheer yourself up. We have a little unicorn, but it looks like a death unicorn. So I use that kind of like the death card in tarot. Like, let the situation come to an end. And then you have another marker for death, which is a sugar skull. So again, I also, the sugar skulls represent our ancestors. So maybe you've been receiving messages already from your spiritual team telling you to, like, call it quits, and you're just kind of like, la-di-da, I don't need to pay attention to that, but, I mean, they're telling you, they're so mean, I'm not gonna repeat that, but, I mean, you know, the butterfly is hope, though, so I feel like maybe they have something in the works for you. We have Palkia, which is a Pokemon. He's the Pokemon of space. So I feel like you need to separate yourself from this individual to literally give yourself space and kind of redirect your energy and gather your thoughts. I think of, like, outer space as well. So when I think of outer space, I think of, like, the astral realm. So kind of looking into that, and again with the spiritual team and the ancestors, like maybe they're already sending you messages, but if you're into that kind of stuff, like meditate and ask them if they have any messages for you. Then we have S, but then you turn around, it's Ly, so it makes me think of Sly. Maybe this person is just very charming to you, and you kind of like, you know, you think, oh, like they're kind of, I don't want to use the word breadcrumbing, Jesus Christ, but you know, like they give you a little bit here, and then you're like stuck, and then you're like, I'm getting over this person, and then they give you a little bit, and then you're stuck again, but it's like they're not gonna change for you. We have and run. Run, yeah, far away from this person. Go to outer space even. And then we have freedom, and we have imagine. So yeah, just giving yourself, I feel like once you separate yourself from this person, it's gonna give you a sense of freedom. Like you're gonna feel like you can breathe again. And imagine, it makes me think of like manifesting someone else. Wow, let's look over all of these. Holy crap. I feel like you took all the freaking fortunes. It says, a fond memory will soon lead to a renewed friendship. Yeah, so I feel like there's other people trying to get your energy in their life. You're someone who's stable, someone who's sweet, and it's just kind of wasted on this person. You have a fine capacity for the enjoyment of life. We have, you will soon be receiving sound spoken advice. Listen. So again, guidance. Go ask someone for that, whether that be a spirit or an actual physical human. And then we have, who has confidence in themselves will gain the confidence of others. So yeah, maybe right now you're being kind of, I don't want to say belligerent, but maybe people have started to lose confidence in you. Like you're a very stable person, but they're not seeing that right now because you're kind of snappy as of late. You're kind of, you know, I don't want to use the word bitchy, that's kind of fucked up, but yeah, I feel like the moment you resolve the situation, people will they'll like quickly gain confidence in you. And then he says, whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that means something to you. Sorry, I really don't think this is saying they're worth waiting for. I think they're telling you to run. So I'm sorry. Subscribe if you're interested. I post other types of witchy content, not just tarot cards. But yeah, have a nice day, pile number 2. Hello to my viewers that selected pile number 3 with the green boxy box over here. This is your reading. Do. The Queen of Presents. Alright, so we have a bad bitch in here. We have a working mother. Oh my god, that Reba song that's like, a single mom who works too hard. Literally, like, I think of someone who's, like, very loving and nurturing, but is also, like, they're like a boss when it comes to their career. They have it all handled. Pretty cool. Whether that be you or your person, let's find out. We have the Hermit in reverse. So that's great. Somebody's isolating themselves. Then we have the Queen of Potions. I feel like this person's pretty good. Yeah, okay, I feel like this person really, really loves you, really cares for you. They're just kind of like in their head all the time. And they to the point where like maybe they end up isolating themselves and you're like, oh, does this person like not like me anymore? Does this person like, are they mad at me? But in reality, they're just like, they just need time and space to themselves. Whether that be because, you know, they need to sort out their emotions or because they're very, there's a lot of people who have lower social batteries than the rest of us. And I feel like maybe this person is one of those people and they just kind of need to retreat. But I feel like maybe that accidentally triggers insecurities inside of you. And so you're like, does this person even care? But like, they totally do. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Someone who really loves you. It's just someone who's like maybe a little guarded, not necessarily against you, just like in general. And then we have the King of Swords in reverse, which is like someone who's in their head a lot, someone who's very thoughtful. Even you can even look right here. He's like, he looks very pensive. Granted, this is the villain of freaking Nightmare Before Christmas, so he looks like he's plotting something evil, but I don't think that's what it was meant to be for your message. I think it's just like someone who's thinking a lot. Then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So I feel like maybe, because when I think of the Ace of Wands, I think of someone who's like very passionate and very driven. I feel like this person's a little more mellow than that. It doesn't necessarily mean that they don't love you a lot. It's just like maybe they're not as expressive about it. Or there's kind of like delays in their expression for some reason, and then it makes you feel like maybe this person doesn't care, but I think they do. They're just very, I just picture someone with like a low social battery. This is a very specific person that I'm picturing, but if you guys are watching My Hero Academia, it makes me think of Tamaki, or Amajiki, whatever. He's like very, very shy, very timid. He hates crowds. He gets anxiety. He's always like, I want to go home. I just feel like it's this kind of like little depressed individual. It doesn't mean he fucking hates everyone. It doesn't mean he doesn't like the people that are around him. He's just like, I get anxiety around people, and that's kind of like the vibe I'm getting. This person's just kind of like going off on their own to like recharge their battery. It's not necessarily to like abandon you. 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8 of Swords. Yeah, so I feel like if you think this person's gonna walk away when they start isolating, I don't think this person's trying to walk away or trying to make you feel like they're walking away. I feel like they're just kind of isolating, and they get kind of like lost in their thoughts a lot. They might even be thinking that about you, that you're gonna walk away, but I don't see that being the case. I just feel like maybe you guys need to communicate about like how it makes you feel, and this person will be like, hey, like that's not how I'm trying to make you feel. That's not what I'm doing when I go off and I isolate. It's just like a thing that I do. And we have, oh, it's a soulmate. Yeah, so I feel like this person is just, it's just their personality. It's not like them trying to avoid you or trying to hide. Protection. Again, so like this person, I feel like that's how they protect themselves. Like they kind of like extend their battery to other people, and then like afterwards they're kind of like, I need to go charge. I need to go regenerate. Like I can't do that if I keep talking to people. I can't do that if I don't isolate or like think about my situation or whatever. I feel like this person is very, like, they experience their life internally, like it's happening in their brain all the time, and if they're having to talk to people all the time, it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's a form of self-preservation, like a form of self-care, to be like, I need to step away from everyone and everything. It's not like to abandon you. Then we have Schoolhouse, New Venture, Disarray, and then Misguided. And then we have Greg, and it says optimist, energetic, and friendliest. So I feel like, yeah, they're kind of asking you to be a little bit more optimistic about it. I feel like you're giving Greg vibes. You're very energetic. You're very friendly. You're optimistic, and that's kind of like how you see the world. And so when your partner isn't that way, you're like, something's wrong. But they're not wrong. They're just not Greg. They're not the Greg energy. Yeah, and so with Misguided here, it just makes me feel like you're misinterpreting the situation, like your thoughts are misguided, and maybe just to like talk to your partner about it, because it's not that they don't love you, it's just that they need space right now, or whatever the situation might be. It says, don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone. Yeah, this makes me feel like you're talking about your partner. Like, I mean, but let's see if they're calling you out, because it says you need some fucking time alone and you know why. So maybe, you can be a little obsessive about this situation. Like, the person, needs space, and instead of you taking time, and space for yourself, you just start obsessing, and it's like, maybe you could use a little social recharge, especially if you're like the optimist. Because I feel like when people who are the optimists in the life of the party, like, they often don't want to come across as like a downer, or like maybe they're very uncomfortable with their emotions, and so when they show a little bit of sadness, people are like, what's wrong? And you're like, I don't want to be that person, I don't want to talk about my feelings. But it's like, maybe you need space away from people too. You don't have to be like the life of the party all the time. It says, drop the fucking ego. Okay. Vulnerability is hot as fuck. Yeah, so see, like, I get the vibe that you just like don't like talking about your emotions. And maybe that's translating into your relationship. You're kind of like, well, I'm just gonna wait it out, and we'll see what this person does. But I mean, it's like, drop your fucking ego, go up to your friggin' partner and be like, hey, it makes me feel this way when you do that, and I don't like it. Hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, so they're just kind of telling you, like, hey, drop the ego, go go to your partner and tell them how you feel. Reach out to people if you need help. Yeah, and maybe when it says, like, don't talk to anyone, I feel like maybe this is a message for some of you that you've been, like, talking to your friends about it. But it's not actually helping the situation, because, like, you need to talk to your partner about it, not your friends. So it's kind of like, hey, take some alone time, gather your thoughts, and then go approach your partner about it. We have stop texting, stop stalking, stop checking on that person, just fucking stop. So here we go again. Spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. So, again, this could be like you're texting your friends instead of texting their partner about it. But it's also like, maybe when they go into isolation mode, you start obsessing. You're like, oh, so what are they doing on their Instagram? So what are they doing on this and this? And it's just kind of like, hey, you're being ridiculous right now. Stop it and go talk to your partner. And then it says, believe what you see. Face reality or live in fucking La La Land. Choose bravely. So again, maybe you, as a form of protection for yourself, of self-preservation, you're kind of like choosing to see this negatively, so that you can just be like, okay, done, because you don't want to get hurt or whatever. But it's like, this person isn't bad for you. Like, you don't need to twist it into something negative. I don't know. Choop choop choop. Yeah. It's so mean. But it's funny that it says choose bravely instead of choose wisely. It's kind of telling you to, like, not live in fear. So we have your charms. Let's see what you got. Oh, we got another work card. It's like, yes. Look at him. He's all confident. He's like feeling himself in the mirror. He's like, yeah, I'm a badass. He is dressed like a gnome, but let's not talk about that. Yeah, I feel like to live confidently, to go drop the ego and then talk to your person about it. Even if you feel like a gnome when you do that. We have the little friggin' fairy godmother. So when this one comes up, it makes me think of like a wish come true. Have the Black Parade for the emos out there. Yeah, that's like a metaphorical death to me. So just kind of like ego death. We're gonna put this over here. We have a hare who's like running really fast. Yeah, that just makes me think of like acting quickly. You have a skateboard and it says love on it. Sweet, and then it says hugs. I feel like this person is giving me like cuddly vibes. I don't think they're a bad person. And then we have this Harry Potter charm. It says Expecto Patronum. So, if you don't know, you can only cast a Patronus charm if you think of a really happy memory. So I feel like you and this person have a lot of happy memories together, and I don't know, you're kind of like overlooking that just to be like, I don't know your situation, I'm not judging, but for whatever reason, I feel like you're choosing to see this in a negative light when you can just like talk to your partner and maybe address the problem. We have this term that says fuck cheese. This might be a message for some of you of like watching your health. Maybe it's declining because you start obsessing so much, but that's a very specific message from that one. You might also be like kind of bitter. I think you're like fuck cheesiness. Like if I'm not happy, I don't want to see anyone else be happy, which is kind of funny. So don't be bitter. Just talk to your partner. It says don't let ambitions overshadow small successes. Let me see what your other one says. It says, be not afraid of growing slowly, be only afraid of standing still. So I feel like this relationship, it is kind of like a slower moving thing. Maybe it's slower than what you're used to if you're like happy and boisterous and jumpy. This person's kind of like mellow and like chill and they're kind of slower than what you're used to maybe. But that doesn't mean they're not interested or that they don't care. It's just like their pace is different. And then it says don't let ambitions overshadow small successes. Yeah, so I feel like you and this person have small successes, especially with like the yes here. And you're kind of overlooking like all these positive things from the relationship that you have, just to be like, well, it's not how I picture a relationship in my mind, but that doesn't necessarily have to be how it is. Alas, earwax. So it's like a Harry Potter charm where, if you're not familiar, there's like jelly beans and there's mystery flavors, and then sometimes they're really gross, like vomit flavor or earwax flavor. So sometimes a relationship, it's like a freaking mystery bag of jelly beans. Sometimes it tastes really good and sometimes it fucking tastes bad, and so I feel like this is just one of your bad times and you're gonna have to eat it and then you're gonna move on. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. It's not that this person doesn't love you. It's just how it is sometimes. It's not gonna be happy all the time. You have an angel, which makes you think of a literal angel, honestly. Maybe this relationship is like divinely protected, and then we have the soulmate here, so that would make me think that too. Not that I think like soulmates are meant to be together forever or anything, but soulmates to me are people who are like meant to come into contact. We have another death thing here, so yeah, just you're kicking the bad habits, I would say, and like stop the obsessing. Death to that. And then we have sadness. I mean, that's self-explanatory. The emotion of sadness that you're feeling. Maybe your person's even feeling a little bit sad, and that's why they kind of have to like isolate, but that's not like anything to do with you necessarily. We have beneath, and then happy. So I think like happy, it's literally beneath. Happiness beneath the sadness, but I mean, obviously you're gonna have to work for it. It's not just gonna be like, oh, and now we're happy now. It says listen and birthday. Maybe there's like a special event coming up where you guys are gonna have to talk to each other anyway. But again, listen to your partner. Don't just like tell them how you feel. You also want to listen to how they feel and how they interpret the situation. Please and dance. That makes me, I don't know why I pictured someone like begging someone like, please dance with me. Like maybe you're kind of like, hey, like come out, like let's go party, let's go have fun, let's go talk to people, and this person's like, it's like pulling teeth to get them to socialize. We have learn and make. I don't know, it's like to make someone learn, like it's a lesson that you have to learn, and whether you like it or not, that's kind of what a soulmate does, right? Like it teaches you lessons. So oh my god, I have such a bad habit of saying that. They teach you lessons. And we have he and she, and then I just said they. Maybe there's like gender things happening here. Maybe it's a queer relationship. We have no, and then bye. We have my, and then is, and then treasure and believe. So yeah, have a little faith, especially with the freaking fairy godmother here. This person cares about you. You're just being silly right now, and they're asking you to stop the ridiculousness. So I hope that was helpful, pile number 3. Subscribe if you're interested in more witchy content. I do more than just tarot stuff, so yeah. Oops. Sorry, oh my god. Okay, hello, my last pile, with the blue present box. This is your reading. Choo-choo. Okay. So we have the Page of Cups in reverse. The Ten of Cups. The King. Okay, so much emotions. Jesus. We have another. Oh my god! Oh my god! They're basically all cup cards. What the hell? Except for her, the 5, 6 of Swords. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so we're starting with the Page of Potions. That makes you feel like someone who's kind of immature emotionally. They're not really, maybe they're new to like relationships. They don't know how to express their emotions properly. Maybe they don't even fully understand their own emotions. So it's like, how can I verbalize something I haven't even like processed, I suppose. Maybe they're very slow at processing emotions. But then right next to it, we have some very positive cards. We have the Ten of Potions. That's like love and like almost like a happy family kind of love. And then we have the King of Potions, who is someone who's like got their shit together emotionally. So I feel like maybe one of you is very emotionally stable and like maybe they have more experience, or maybe, you know, they've been to more therapy so they know how to process it, and the other one might be kind of like more immature, and they're not aware of how to like process or verbalize their emotions or communicate their feelings to you. But like you both really care about each other. I just feel like there's a run-in. I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're the one who's emotionally stable and your partner is probably a little bit more immature. But it could be reversed, but that's just how I'm gonna read it, because, you know, the title of the video is you being concerned about this. So I feel like it's not that they don't care about you, or that they necessarily mean any negativity towards you. I just feel like they don't know how to handle all these emotions, and maybe they act out in a very immature way. They can be very stubborn, a little petulant, but there's a lot of love here. I mean, with the Ten of Potions. We have the 4 of Potions in reverse. I feel like maybe it's starting to wear on you, like you're kind of like, I can find something better, or like I'm kind of tired of doing the same thing over and over again. Like it's becoming kind of monotonous, and kind of like maybe you're feeling like it's starting to be pointless, or like I've addressed this already and this person doesn't solve it. So I feel like you're getting bored, or like you're getting impatient, waiting for this person to kind of get their shit together. 6, 7, 8. The 8 of Cups in reverse. I feel like you keep going back. The song by The Clash comes in my head. That's like, should I stay or should I go? You have contemplated leaving this relationship already, for sure, and you're kind of like, I don't want to go. Again, there's a lot of love here, so it's not that you want to go, but I feel like you've been going back and forth a lot because you're starting to get bored, and it's not even necessarily boredom. Like that makes it sound so vain, right? Like, oh, if you don't entertain me, I'm gonna leave. But it's like kind of like bored in the sense that it's like the same shit over and over again. Like, I've already addressed this, it's not being resolved, and then we have another freak out, and then I address it again, and then it's kind of like a cycle. Like, it's just going over and over, and you're kind of fucking sick of it. And so now it's getting to the point where you're like, I'm gonna fucking leave. And I do see you leaving. Because we have the Six of Cups. I mean, I'm sorry, the Six of Swords here. I said cups because literally every other fucking card is the cups. Which sucks. I mean, that shows that there's a lot of emotion here, and it's very emotional and so sad. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that you want to hurt this person. It's just that it's not what's best for you, and you're kind of looking to move on. But you'll move on to better things, because that's what the Six of Swords represents. Unfortunately, we have spontaneity again. So, like, I feel like you're just kind of bored here. You're like, it's the same shit over and over. It's time to go do something else. It's not necessarily like go do another person, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, to go have fun. Kind of like, maybe this person's just kind of like staying in. They're not having like fun with you like you used to anymore, and you're just kind of like, I want to go do something else. It says trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Yeah, but no. That's not the vibe I'm getting. It's just kind of funny because, like, I feel like it's more of like you've put your trust into this person over and over again, and then it's like they kind of don't meet your expectations. Especially since it's here next to the Four of Potions. That just makes you think of like you've put your trust into this person and now you're like over it. Categorical, hospitable, and then lyrical. We have the teacup, abstracting, clever, and trial. That's so funny that it says hospitable. It makes me feel like you're starting to feel like more like this person's mom than like this person's partner. And I say mom like in a gender neutral manner, not like, you know, assuming that you're whatever, identifying as a woman. But yeah, it's like starting to like become a parental role other than like a relationship. I don't know, or like I like a caretaker instead of like a freaking partner. Then we have trial, abstracting, and clever. Teacups make me think of tea leaf readings. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe you kind of already know this. Is the vibe I'm getting, but we'll see. It says you need some fucking yoga in your life. Interesting. Ancient shit is cool. So again, like with the spontaneity, maybe they're asking you to like go out and like. It doesn't necessarily have to be yoga. It can be like hiking or something. Just kind of like getting away from the situation. I feel like you're kind of bored. I don't know. Yeah, like detox again. So like another health one. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out. So maybe this is the asshole you need to unfriend. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, because you literally have the Six of fucking Swords there. I mean, they're telling you walk away. I feel like the detox can, I mean, it could be literal because you have yoga here, so it's making me think of health. Maybe it's starting to affect your health. But I feel like it's also metaphorical, like detox the toxic people out of your life. And then it says, you are giving away your power. Yeah, you're a badass, act like it. Yeah, I feel like you've just given your power and your emotions and your love and your sweetness and your loyalty and your trust to this individual, and it's like they're not returning it, so what's the fucking point? We have time here, so I feel like maybe you guys need like time apart, or maybe if this person is gonna mature sometime in the future, they need time to do it before they can come back to it, and it's like not. It's a significant amount of time to the point where, like, you guys need to be away from each other for, like, a minute. Not just, like, you know, oh, I'll give you, like, a couple of months. I don't know. I feel like it's just time to cut them out, but I'm not one to tell people what to do. But again, you've been thinking about it with the Eight of Cups here. So you've already been thinking about it, and then I see you actually leaving. You have Luna Lovegood's freaking glasses. She sees the narwhals. So I feel like I wish there was a metaphor for this, because they always say like, oh, put on your rose-colored glasses or take off your rose-colored glasses, but they don't have like the opposite of it, like put on the glasses that make you see the fucking truth, bitch, you know? Because that's kind of what I see it like. You're kind of not noticing the narwhals. You're not noticing, or I guess, well, you have noticed because you've contemplated leaving, but it's more like you're kind of ignoring it, and it's kind of telling you like, hey, pick yourself up by your bootstraps and leave this person. I have a fortune cookie message. It says persistence pays off. I'm also getting a vibe that this person isn't persistent. Like maybe they're like, yeah, I'll do this, I'll fix it, and they'll do it for like a month or something, and then they're back to normal. But like the next day, which is, you know, unfortunate. We have butterflies. How many do we have? We have 2 butterflies. Those represent transformation, which you're not going to achieve by doing the same shit over and over again. So figure out what you got to do there. We also have a Kirk Van Houten. Can I borrow a feeling? I can't remember the context of this, but I just remember I believe it's like Milhouse's dad. I think he writes a song or something like after his wife leaves him. Yeah, so I feel like maybe this person's gonna start to realize like a lot of things once you actually leave, but I feel like right now they're just kind of gonna continue doing the same thing over and over. So for you to expect a transformation from them by sticking around, it's like not gonna happen. They kind of need that reality check. Demon Slayer. So we have a Demon Slayer sword here. I mean, I take that I take that literally. You're gonna start slaying demons. But yeah, metaphorical. I feel like this person has, you know, maybe some demons they gotta slay, some negative habits they gotta kick, and they're not gonna do it by you still being there. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people need that reality check. We have Mickey Mouse literally being like, fuck this, he's yeeting himself out of the situation. So yeah, just kind of like leaving, unfortunately. We have, sad, literal trash. Maybe this person has a lot of like self-deprecation issues or like self-esteem issues. There's a lot of things that they have to work through, and I mean, you're not their therapist, you're their partner, so it's kind of like, I mean, it's good to support, you know, not like toxic kind of like leave them the moment they have a problem, like that's shitty. But I mean, I feel like it's not the moment they've had a problem. I feel like you've had this problem for a while, and now it's like, okay, either you get help or I'm going. And, you know, sadly, we have little slippers. They're shaped as the mice from Cinderella. I just feel like, again, comfort. Sorry, literally every other freaking pile got comfort, so I said again comfort, but but this is the first time the message is coming up for you. Comfort is just kind of like, I feel like you're staying here because it's comfortable, especially with a ton of cups here. It's kind of like, it's gotten to the point where, like, you know how when you're in a serious relationship and it becomes, I don't want to say like familial, but it kind of does, like once they become like your wife or something and you've been with them for a while, it's kind of like more, I don't want to use the word platonic, but you know, it's not always like hot and heavy and flirty. Like eventually this shit's gonna become like more of like someone you can trust. Like hopefully at the end of the day you'll have that at least. And so I feel like because this person, like, this is where you're comfortable, like you've known them for a while to the point where they become like family for you, that you don't want to leave them. But maybe that's why you stayed around for so long. But I mean, eventually, like if they're not changing and it's not serving you, like should you really be sticking around? We have the alien skateboard. It makes me think of outer space in general. Makes me think of, sorry, oh my god, I'm having an aneurysm right now because I just heard the word starseed and I hate that shit. No, it does make me think of starseeds, but not because I believe in starseeds, but because I'm like, oh my god, people who believe in starseeds are like not doing their research. If you don't know, there's like anti-Semitic roots to that. and a lot of the symptoms of being a starseed are really just the symptoms of having autism. But um, okay, sorry, I just went on a tangent. So maybe like this person has beliefs that you think are like silly or immature, especially them being a page and you being a king. Maybe you're kind of like, I don't agree with that. But anyway, when I think of outer space, I think of the celestial, the ether, or whatever you guys want to call it, the astral. Maybe you should take the time to talk. It's with a teacup here too. Like maybe you have forms of divination yourself. Maybe you read your own tarot cards, and it's just kind of time to like, you know, check in with your spirit guides. Check in with your spiritual team. And be like, what do I do? Unless you already know what to do. And then we got listen. So, listen when you're given that advice. And then birthday, which is funny. When I say the birthday one, I think of like celebration. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a literal birthday. Like you don't even need a reason to celebrate. Go be spontaneous. Go celebrate. Go have fun. Happy. Beneath. Yeah. So again, it makes me think of like beneath all your sadness, you're gonna have happiness. But I feel like you're being told to go pursue things that make you happy, because right now you've just kind of been like drained emotionally, and it's like, hey, go. Maybe this literal trash thing is, for you. Maybe this relationship makes you feel like shit. Maybe it makes you. Maybe you haven't been taking care of yourself because you've been taking care of this person, being their freaking mom. So now it's like, hey, like go pursue your happiness right now. Let this person figure their shit out in the meantime. It says shine and always. And then we have Spider Gwen, but I'm not really sure like of her actual lore. I don't like read her comics or anything, but it makes me think of like, because the way Gwen is originally presented, she's like Spider-Man's girlfriend. But then when she's Spider-Gwen, obviously this is like a different dimension. It's not, okay, to all the comic book nerds out there, don't come for me, okay? I'm not here to talk about the lore of Spider-Gwen. The point to me is that even though Spider-Gwen is her own character and her own person, people will always see her as like, oh, that's Spider-Man's girlfriend. So I feel like you've kind of lost yourself in this relationship. And yeah, I feel bad ending on that note, but I mean, maybe people just kind of see you as like this person's girlfriend, or like, you're kind of feeling like this person's mom. You're not feeling like yourself. You're not feeling like, oh, I'm spontaneous and I'm clever and I'm, freaking whatever. You're kind of like, oh, I'm this person's girlfriend. Like, it's just kind of draining you. Not that, you have to be a girlfriend, whatever, in terms of gender, doesn't matter, but, yeah. So maybe sort that out. Go find things that make you happy, that fulfill you, that make you feel like a person again, other than just like someone's mom. I hope that was helpful. Sorry. Yeah, if you're interested in more widget content outside of pick a cards, I also do that, so consider subscribing. It is free. Thank you, pile number 4. I hope that was helpful.